in mind. Okay. Hey, baby. So, oh, y'all can wear y'all shirts some days too if you want to. Your medical building and coding shirts. So I mean, like in between washings, you can wear your tops. So I know, but you can wear it. I have other shirts, that other classes of mine had, and I wear those shirts too. So you're more than welcome to wear. If you want to put your name on the back of them, get some letters and stuff from Walmart. You can put some letters on the back of them and stuff. I decorate mine when I have the time. I decorate. Okay, everybody. So let's go to chapter 2 in your workbook, and let's work through these questions. Let's do some answers and some questions. I left my favorite markers in the band. Yeah, I left them. Oh, that's okay, honey. That means that lunch was good. It's okay. Okay. So we're gonna do chapter 2. Where is the first part of this? Somebody pulled it out. And I didn't even bring my book. Okay, so open up to the front page. Let me borrow your book right quick, Ashley. So we're going to talk about in the workbook of Fortney, we're going to talk about some things here and go through it as a class discussion today. And we're going to try our best to complete chapter 2, and also we're going to talk about chapter 3. So I want everybody to turn to page 13 in your workbook of Fortney, and we're going to discuss this. Okay? All right, here you go, sweetie.
You know what?
Yes.
My mom was in the car. Take her over. Yeah. Well, never mind.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So what I want us to do is to go through exercise 2-1. Exercise first page. Y'all can Google that or look in your books, because you all have books on the front, and it will tell you what each one of those acronyms mean. Kiki, number 1. She looking at me like, what? Okay, Kiki, number 1. I need you to read for me number 1. Read the question.
Compliance is the process of
meeting regulations, recommendations, expectations of federal and state agencies that pay for healthcare services and regulate the industry. Okay, you have compliance in doctor's offices. So in a nutshell, you have compliance in billing and coding. You have to code to the best specificity. Does everybody understand that? Are you?
Yeah, I need to.
Oh, okay. You know what? Hold on. Let me go get some paper. Give me a minute and make some copies. Give me a minute, because I don't think y'all. My mind's somewhere else. I forgot I taught some classes earlier today. My mind's somewhere else.
Trying to stick it back in the can. It came out when I was washing my thing. Something like compliance is high in your regulator. I don't know if I'm a fever. I don't know if recommendations.
Well, my kids got screwed.
Really? go on the water. You could go out.
Yeah, this is
Why?
This is so crazy.
This is
I know, I'm so dirty.
I feel like I'm
You were there.
I'm like in the house. Perfect. You guys know?
Yeah.
I haven't done this in a long time. And when I did go, I don't like to
No, when it's loud, it's loud.
so, you know, when people are like on bus,
You know, better not have it weird.
you're all up in everywhere.
Because if I die, so.
I would never forget one time going to a class. This is what natural water tastes. So we're in the hall. We're trying to pass by nursing homes. And we're passing by and everyone's like squeezing in. So we got, I'm like, you're watching my ears on your side. And he was standing right there. He wouldn't move. I'm like, I just really walked like when I passed by him. He was like trying to kiss me. I don't want to.
Number 4.
Oh, there's something.
Oh,
You know,
What is the little?
Yeah.
Little
I don't know what he had in his mouth.
So I wonder that how that.
Alright.
Not so that.
Maybe try and hug me. I was like,
You get
this is me. I said, what's it? Why you go there?
it?
Let's start there. I'm gonna be a type of dinner. So you don't know.
No, they said that's why you're not supposed to put your hands on everybody. Cause so like some people like they might take that shit as like yeah, so you can I'm like bro, I don't touch the Bible. That's why if somebody's following you, like I'm sorry, but I did that. If you get ready to fall, I was like, I touch you. Jump entry number, jump entry number 10. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I already came in and I was like, what is that?
That one,
She was like, probably like,
Oh, yeah.
hurt her head and everything. I was getting so aggressive about her. I was like, what is that? It's like a map.
No, like, you know, when Joe's like, oh, that's good. And then you want to get that, that's why it took me a while.
I
I'm
read some of it, but then I had questions that.
like,
You're only supposed to read like the highlighted stuff, right? And then I have questions that
Extra
show
hard.
what's highlighted.
I always do that. Like, when I was like something weird, I would pull some words from what is that? Stop. I do it to my son.
Yeah.
He said dirt right here, because I'm outside. And they were playing with the dirt, so he grabbed his face, so he left dirt in his face. And he had stuff right there, and I was like, what is that in his forehead? And what I did, it was bro, like, I'm like, calm down. Yeah, that's it.
I can do that all the time. I mean,
I'm always like,
it's all fun and games. Our kids learn how to talk shit back. It's all fun and games until our kids learn how to talk shit back.
they just tell you this. Oh, yeah, like you told my husband that I wore going to a Christmas party. Poor question.
Talk so much.
Because we were in the truck ready to go, right? And my cousin was like, hey, everybody meet us at the park. So everybody was going to the hotel. I never thought of anything.
Also, he's the one like, you never take me anywhere.
Yeah. Okay, fine, whatever. So they got on the truck, they didn't not want to go.
I don't want to go. I want to stay here. And we're just gonna go for a little bit where we're. So we all get in the truck. My husband's in that and the dog gives some water. We all purchase it. And then he goes, he was like, are we gonna take home over there? And I was like, no, we're just gonna go for a little bit. He's like, why do we have to go on the or something like that? I said. And he thought it was the funniest thing ever. So my husband got in the truck and he was still laughing. Daddy, what is something funny? And then I was thinking something else, you know, like, he's like, my mom said that we're gonna go see your stupid cousin, ugly cousin.
There's no way to stop.
And then I was, and then I was like, it's a shit for you. And he's like, you need to stop saying stuff in front of him. And then
I was looking for you. Like, you know you're ugly cousin, right? Shut up. How would you say that? I don't know where you got that from. But you are unattractive. But still, I don't know who you got it from. I don't know.
I just have to say, like, kids are very conscious.
My daughter was like, she would put people on blast. Like, oh, why this? Why that about you? Did you? Like, oh my God. I'd be like, girl. Like the little boy who was like, hey, why you gotta be bold? You got asshole. Like that little boy. You got asshole? Like, whoa, wow. Yeah, she just told her teacher one time. Like, why do you have yellow on your teeth? And I was just like, Harmony, away from me. I'm like, Harmony, stop. And then her teacher, like, that lady did not like this. She just looked and then she just, like, she did a little smile and then she turned around, like, I don't know, like, what daughter? She might say it on the highest. What did you say? You know you ain't got no booty, right?
Wow.
Wow. That's so funny. But she had to go to, that's what she was talking about. You know, it was something. I said something to her. Fuck around and hurt her lady feelings. I gotta go to because of this reason.
I'm like, you know, like, I was in October when they were born. And then he goes, Daddy, why are mommy
I was crying. I was crying so hard laughing so much. If I would have got that yellow there, I would yell for it. I would have yelled for it. Why would you do that? My daughter, like you better hold us. When she was like, I would say 2 or 3, she was still really young and like playing stuff. She got her head stuff. She took them off the wrapper and she was sticking them on herself. Oh, I'm like, girl, what did you do your pants? $8 all over. $8 stuff. Yeah. She was all over. That is so funny. My mom is mad at me because Ava like takes all my fucking tampons out of my damn bathroom or in the fucking closet or anything, and she just walking around playing with white and plastic. I'm like, put the damn thing down. What are you doing? Stop! Stop! It's nasty. She's just like, it's not used, but I'm just like, but damn, like I don't like the fact that you're fucking with it. Leave it alone. I'm also, why do they not walk around with that? I said, you know, I got to the point where I don't care. I don't care anymore. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm like, they're expensive as fuck, first of all. The ones that I buy are organic. I'm like, look at that. Damn, $12 on that. Please, leave it alone. Get your child. That's a chemical like, oh, get your child. That's fucking hilarious. Fucking. I could be in the house when that shit happened.
my son, why are you so ugly? Wow. And then, you're so ugly, I don't want to look in your face ever.
Yeah, it's your fault.
And then he's like, why is he so ugly? Well, he's just
Oh my God. Exactly.
And that, but see, this one thing. The fact that she said he's just honest, I'm like, wow, so you agree? You agree with you? Yeah, that's what you're saying.
That was his dad. Like, you know that.
Where did you get it from? Like,
That was his real dad.
and look, at some point you thought his dad was fine. Kind of pussy. So I'm just saying, you get pregnant from the air. You get pregnant from the air, so you get pregnant.
Girl, you were so ugly. I don't ever see you.
I read big.
Hey, leave me alone.
You see
And
it?
you don't have to say that. I can't imagine.
I mean, I can't. My little already.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's what it stands out. And then I was like,
Bro, you said
why
that's his fault, bro.
and then I was like, and then he was like,
The fact that that's the excuse that you give for it is crazy. It's honest. What the fuck would it be? It's just honest. It's just like,
I'm like, you're not honest.
he says some shit about you, you'd be like, oh wow, wow, son. Wow.
Like, it
Like you
doesn't
love
matter.
me.
Dad, you're such a fatty.
You know, I'm trying. The kids are mean, bro.
She was trying to big fatty.
I was like, I can't be around with kids to certain shit without that pretty close you fat, bro. You fat. Like, it's not the fact that he said that they called her fat, it's how he said it though. He called her fat. Like that right there would have had me dead. If I was there, like he called you fatty.
Yeah.
You're bad. Yeah.
He's like, Mom, why don't they take a shower today?
That's exactly what yeah, that's exactly how my daughter is. I'm like, shut up. Like, no, my little sister did some shit like that, but it wasn't like, my daughter did some shit like that. Ava did some shit like that. We're in the fucking store. And my mom was walking with Ava. She talks to you know how you walk past somebody or somebody walk past somebody, you know they're talking about somebody. So they start laughing or something like that. they but okay, so they were walking past the people, all of a sudden they were talking past people. And my mom was like, she didn't want people to feel like they like she was talking about them or some shit. And she was like, I don't know why I felt like they were gonna think I was talking about this. Like some fucking idiot. Like, I don't know why. And she was cracking up. So she was just like, ah. She never walk away. Then you got my little sister. We're in the fucking store and she just like, you ever seen the movie Money Talk with Chris Tucker? I was like, okay, so we're in the car. I'm not in the car. She's in the money. I'm pushing her. It's a bomb in the building. It's a goddamn bomb in the building. And she's the baby. And this is what she's screaming in Walmart. I'm like, oh shit. And all people look at us like, no, no, no. It's not a bomb. It's not a bomb. It's not a bomb. It's not a bomb. What black terrorist you see? And what black terrorist have you seen? I'm in this bitch too. I ain't trying to die. Oh, y'all make no damn sense. Oh, this fucking go. You saying
Okay, beloved.
still in tissue.
Still in tissue. Make y'all some copies.
I could never be a suicide bomber. I gotta go out.
Who are we missing?
Yeah. Well, and
Oh, she's done.
oh yeah, she sure did say that.
Yeah, she's done.
Yeah, girl. Make that money go like that. Like,
We didn't get a chance to do a, in that line card report. I don't know where my mind was.
wow. Yeah. Makes it hard because you can't stop for the time. Like they say it's already out there. Like,
Yeah.
my needs, not my needs.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick out, as a kid, we're gonna go through and talk about it.
This is a weak one. I know. It was just too much bigger than the next one. Yeah, you don't even know what to do, it's like clean.
And then she's like, I'm really sorry, sir. Sorry, I think she's like, it's her on
Kids can't help it, it's like the thinking just comes out. They're not thinking, there's no consequences for what they say, I'm like,
The only one that I have to appreciate it was my son on Friday. I was watching the video and my son was watching the movie and he was like, why do you understand my mommy and everything? She's always doing it. And then I was like, what? I help you. I'm over there watching those videos. Shots fired. And all I'm doing is eat.
it's like, David, it's not as petty. Like, maybe it's petty.
Just pass it around.
Maybe it's petty. He be with starting for best. You don't do anything. My mom doesn't watch this. Now let's watch this. Like that's when you watch a play.
I was like, really?
Pass me the gun.
Or you go out in the city. The holes are there.
Okay, so let's start back over, and I'm sorry for the interruption. So, number one, Kiki has read already, and so you have the answers right there before you, so that's easy for you to do. Number two, Ashley, read number two.
What is the first step health insurance specialist should take towards achieving compliance or they do not violate laws, which may result in penalty compliance?
Okay, and what is the answer?
Identify the laws that regulate.
Identify Diana. I was asking Ashley.
She got out of fast.
I know she got it out real fast. Okay, thank you, Diana. Thank you, Ashley. Identify the laws that regulate the industry. Okay, very good. Vanessa, number three.
What is the primary purpose of HIPAA Title, is that one?
Okay, yes.
Insurance reform. To provide continuous insurance coverage for workers and insured dependents when they change or lose jobs.
So that's HIPAA Title I. What president inducted HIPAA Act, HIPAA of 1996? Think about the year 96. Bill Clinton. Oh, okay. Okay.
First was 19.
That's about it. Okay.
I don't know the numbers, I just know.
Okay. Well, it was Bill Clinton. It was Bill Clinton. So he was the one that inducted that in 1996. I'm going to use the best what I can of these markers. I know it's not what I would like for it to be, but oh well. That was, I want to say his second term.
I think he was president in
92 to 96, and I think from 96 to 2000. Well, I'm gonna look it up and verify it. But I know George Bush Jr. was the president after him. Bush Jr. Okay, and then Bush. When was Bush Senior?
that was like the
Oh,
early
Lord.
90s.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because Bush was it when the towers got hit, right?
That was Bush Jr.
But no, I was at Bush Jr. I was in fourth
Yeah.
grade. That's when that happened. Yeah.
Okay, 2001.
Yeah.
But what is it, dear?
It's 93 to 2001.
That he served those terms?
Yes.
Okay, 93 to 2001. Okay, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yeah, so it must have been in his second year, his second term in office. Okay, so in a nutshell, let's talk about HIPAA. Has anybody seen the movie Philadelphia? Have we talked about this before with Tom Hanks? Or was this in another class? Maybe this was in another class. Okay. And there's another movie called John Q.
Yeah.
So if we talked about it before?
No, we talked about John Q.
We talked about John Q.
Okay.
Okay. All right. She remembered Denzel Washington. Okay. Oh, okay. These two films are replicas of what the subject is all about. Philadelphia is an invasion of privacy, okay, with Tom Hanks being an attorney. Okay, he was a well-renowned attorney. He was very prominent in his community. He was very good at the job that he did as an attorney. But when he started taking sick, he started going to the doctors. And then the lesions for HIV and AIDS, they started showing up and appearing in his face. And that's when the AIDS epidemic or HIV epidemic was coming into play, right around that era. And so people I would always pay attention to people that have lesions on their face. Okay. And so those are one of the signs and symptoms of HIV, the constant sweating and losing of weight and the pale look. So those are some of the signs and symptoms. So one of the workers, I think it was concerned, and they were like, what is that patch on your face? What is that lesion on your face? And he said, oh, it's nothing. And then it got around to the office, so he had to start having more lesions on the face. So word got around the office, gossip got around the office, and they were like, that looks like AIDS or HIV. And so he tried to keep his health, per se, under wraps. He tried to keep his lifestyle, per se, under wraps. The only thing that they should be concerned about is his mind and the ability of work he can do. And so when they paid attention to that, then the HR rep got nosy. They found out some kind of way through his insurance what doctors he was going to. When she called the doctor's office, it was invasion of privacy. They divulged that information to the HR lady, his employer, to say that he was diagnosed with AIDS. And so after that, the prejudice, so assumptions, they think because you have AIDS or HIV, they think it's conclusional of your lifestyle. And it's not conclusional of your lifestyle, it's drugs and other factors that you can contract. And it's not airborne either. Yeah, like you said, they think it's airborne, but it's not. Yeah. And then all that is out of fear. And so they tried to find every excuse to get him, how can I say, to leave or get him fired, terminate him from the job. Very good, very well said. And so the sicker he got, the harder he tried. And so when he found out that his information was divulged, that's when he turned around and sued the company. Okay. So again, that's the invasion of privacy. Now you probably wonder, well, Ms. Harper, why are you bringing this up? I'm glad you asked. It's because how many of y'all have been to the doctor and you had to fill out forms, release of information form?
Yeah.
Okay, to say mama can know, daddy can know, or boyfriend can know, or girlfriend can know, or sister or brother can know. Okay, it depends on who it on there. Your own husband can know, or your own wife can know. But my point of it is, um, oh, okay. But my point of it is, if that person's name is not listed to have the release of information told to them about your care, then they have no reason to know about your care. You have to tell them politely, I'm sorry, ma'am, or I'm sorry, sir, but your name is not listed. You have to ask them what is their name. Well, I'm sorry, she did not give your name as one of the ones that needs to know her private health information. Does everybody understand that?
You're not allowed to give that phone anyway, right?
Huh?
You're not allowed to give that type of information.
You're not allowed to get, unless, again, on that paper, release of information paper, unless you sign to say that information can be discussed over the phone, you can leave lab results on the voicemail, you can receive text messages or email. You have to initial or check the box and sign, say you are okay with that.
Because over the phone, you can't prove that you are who you are. You can say wherever you want to be.
Right, that is true.
They can't prove that.
Right. But if you give permission to say the doctor is okay to call you with results over the phone, and let's suppose you weren't your mom, but you were pretending to be your mom,
Yeah.
then that's on you because you signed that it was okay. So the liability doesn't fall on the physician, it falls back on the patient.
But you shouldn't have said it was okay to say over the phone.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, I had another student that queried about the differences of release of information in medical records. Let me also say this. There is a small difference in release of information of medical records. Does everybody understand that? When you sign release of information of medical records, you're giving that other physician, other provider, or attorney permission to your medical records or copies of your medical records. Does everybody understand that? If it's relevant to the attorney or whatever the case may be, that attorney needs that information, if that attorney calls and asks for your medical care or your progress, they can only divulge information that's pertinent to that case with the attorney. Does everybody understand that? Now, if a rheumatologist calls about a patient, that patient says, I signed a release of information for my medical records to go to my rheumatologist, and the rheumatology office call back and say, hey, we need to also inquire about uh, uh, Shay-Shay's pregnancy. Now, unless it's relevant to her arthritis and her pregnancy, then she has rights to that. But if Shay Shay had the baby and the rheumatologist is still calling the PCP, the OBGYN doctor, for gestational questions, pregnancy questions, then he's out of scope for asking. They should only ask questions according to what that release of medical record information is released to. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So I had to get that straight with a student earlier today. Please do not get it confused. Release of information in medical records is totally different from release of information of discussing someone's health. It's totally different information. It's similar, but it's different. It is handled a little different. Okay. All right. Vanessa, read number 4 and number 5 too.
The focus on the healthcare factor setting and reduction of administrative costs and burden are the goals of which part of HIPAA. Title 2, Administrative Simplification.
Very good.
Number 5, an independent organization that receives insurance claims from the physician's office performs edit insurance carriers involved at the
Clearinghouse. I think I said it in this class once before, and I guess I have to say it again if I didn't. My apologies. You have the medical biller, you have the clearinghouse, and you have the insurance company. Okay, the insurance company can be governmental, can be commercial. Okay, name for me some examples of governmental insurance.
Medicare,
Uh-huh.
Jeffries, Ch2,
Uh-huh.
Medicare, Medicaid.
Uh-huh. Very good. Very good. Name for me some examples of commercial insurance. Uh-huh. 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 United Health, Molina. What was that?
That was you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so some of that. Now, here's the clearinghouse right here. The clearinghouse is the middleman between the biller and the insurance company. Okay, it's the middleman. It plays the role of filtering and disseminating patient insurance information to correct payers. And these are your payers: commercial insurance and governmental insurance. Does everybody understand that? These are your payers, insurance company. If the claim, remember what I said once before, when the billing goes through, the billing will go through if it's okay. If it's not okay, what happens? It's going to do what? Ratio should be what? 8 to 10. All right.